Hey, it's Miss Virgo. I'm here. This video is Libra compatibility with other signs and the Libra energy in general, right? So I'm just going to get right into it, not waste any time. So let's start with Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it is your opposite sign. If you're a Libra, it's the opposite sign. So there are some similarities there. On the surface, it doesn't seem it, right? Because Libra, you're about partnership and interpersonal relationships and other people and how you relate to others and how your relationships go and how people respond to you, and you're very much in social. And Aries is more so about the self. It's the first sign of the zodiac, and so there's more, of a focus on their own experiences, what their inner desires are, and experiencing those things. Now, you're both cardinal signs, and in regards to a relationship, it can work because Libra likes to be liked. Let's be honest, Libra likes attention. Leo does too. Libra likes attention. And you could say that their attention isn't just so much they love attention, but more so you like to connect to people. But in Aries energy can also be very forthright. And a lot of times Aries can be very direct, whether you like that or not. They can be very direct. So Aries, if they want you, will tell you they want you. And Libra can sometimes like that flattery, because Aries can come on very strong if they want something, right? And so in regard to a relationship, even starting a relationship, you have that in common, because some signs aren't going to do that, Libra. They're not going to come up to you and be like, yeah, I like you, I want to be with you, like, what do you think, right? And so in general, it can work because you're also both very free, like, I would say people that like freedom in a way. Aries sometimes need to do things by themselves. They are people who, they can't wait. They can't wait for you. They can't wait for anyone else. They want to do it, right? And Libra, you like your freedom. So even though you might like partnership and relating to other people, you still need freedom to have different friends and go here and go there and not be up underneath your partner all the time. And so I think in terms of those needs, that is there. I think in terms of those needs, that is definitely, something that can be really beneficial for you if you're with a person that is the sign. And so as far as any problems with this sign, I think the problems could also come from, like, Libra, though you like your freedom, you also like to feel validated, and sometimes Aries won't do that validation all the time. And so you could sometimes get your feelings hurt if you feel that Aries is doing things without you. They're not inviting you, or they're going out, they're doing this, and they're not including you, because you're gonna be like, wait, I thought we were a couple, like, what are you doing? Or they're doing things without consulting you. Right, so there can be some issues in that. Another thing, Libra, sometimes you can look down on Aries a little bit, because Aries is about action. It's a fire sign, it's cardinal fire, and it's the first sign of the zodiac. So the Aries wants to explore. They're not going to take your word for it. These are the types of energy people that need to experience things in order to make sense of them. Whereas Libra, sometimes you can just, you're intellectual, you like learning, you like, you're an air sign. You like to know a lot of different things about people or about situations. And so while this works really, really well for other signs that are on the same wavelength as you, Aries is more so about experiencing. They might not always want to sit there and talk about theories, or sit there and talk about personal experiences and things like that. Or you might not feel validated, because Aries might want to talk all about themselves, in your opinion, right? So I think that can sometimes be the issue, because intellectually you don't always have the same thought process, right? Intellectually you just don't. I'm not saying who's better or not, but sometimes, Libra, you can look down on Aries thought process, because you're more so about, like, the intellectual component of things, and Aries might be like, well, we're just gonna do this, and you might say, okay, well, I know a friend and they didn't do it this way, and one time I was, and Aries is like, well, we're gonna do it, and there can be conflicts in the relationship over how to get things done, because Aries wants to just do it, and you want it to be a agreement. You want to come together on an agreement, and they just want to do it by themselves. So that can be an issue. However, I think you two can be more tolerant of each other than not any other, but I think you can be more tolerant of each other than you could another sign. So for instance, like, Libra might not be tolerant of or Sagittarius, right? Libra and Sagittarius, there might, actually, I think Libra, I have to look back at my video, because I did a video about this same sign. I think I did one for Sagittarius, but Sagittarius, I'm just making this example, so don't mind me. So for instance, like, let's say they didn't get along well, but Aries is your opposite sign, so there's going to be some things that you have in common. So you're going to be more tolerant maybe of each other, or more open to each other, just like Aries and Libra. Aries and Gemini, might not work. You know, might not be the easiest pairing. Or Aries and Aquarius. What? You see what I'm saying? But you'll have more challenge for each other. All right, let's move on to Taurus. So Taurus is also ruled by Venus, but in a different way than you. Taurus is more about values and beliefs and possessions. Earth sign. Earthy, right? They like possessions. They like those types of things. So what I would say with you in Taurus, it's not the easiest pairing, and it's not because you're very different. Like, that's fixed earth, and you are cardinal air, and you want to carry ideas, and you want to live them out, and you want to, you know, you might have a lot of different associations, a lot of different people you hang out with, a lot of different people you associate with. And Taurus is more guarded. Taurus is more guarded. Taurus has a select group of people they let in. Taurus is all about the foundation of things. And so Taurus sometimes doesn't want to do things new, or doesn't want to necessarily have to meet new people and do all these things, because they trust what's already been done. You see what I'm saying? Taurus trusts what they know, what they feel, what they've already done. Okay, earthy, right? The material, what materialized. Okay, this happened before, and this is what happened, and I'm not doing it again. This, you know, to them that makes sense. And for Libra, it could be, well, you know, maybe we should try this, maybe we should try that. Libra, you're trying to always balance things out, and you want things to work out, and you want to be, you know, you want to come to a conclusion together. But at the same time, Taurus energy might look at you like you are flighty. They might look at you like you don't know what you're doing. They might look at you like, well, I don't know if you know, I don't know why you're different around this group of people, but then when you're with me, you're like this. They're not going to understand, Libra, that to you, you like to relate to people. And Libra, it can easily shift in and out of social settings and maybe act different. They might view that as fake, and you're like, no, I'm socializing, I'm getting to know people. Taurus, why don't you try it? No, I'm just saying, that's what you might think about them. So I think as far as lifestyle goes, it could be very different. And also, Libra, you're tapped into a part of Venus that is more lighthearted and together, and, you know, all of these different things, you know, partnership and wanting to get that partnership. And Taurus is on the part of possessions and foundation and beliefs and values. So a Taurus person might want a commitment way earlier than you do. You might be dating this person, you like each other. It's not hard usually for Libra energy people, or heavily energy Libra people, to find partnership, right? Because what you prioritize is what you will find, right? That's life. Whatever it is you prioritize, whatever it is that you promote is what you will find out there, right? And so Taurus is more so like, okay, where's this relationship going? You know, I need to know, you know, I want to build a family together, or I want to build. And Libra, you might be like, I don't know yet. Let's just see where it goes. Because Libra, you also, a lot of times you have other options, Libra. Libras always have, like, I feel like a lot of them, not all of you, but you have more options. So you might be saying like, well, I don't know, I kind of like this person too, and you're trying to feel this person out. So I think even though you're ruled by the same planet, it does not mean, I don't think it's an easy together relationship. Just like Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury for now, right? Because Vulcan is the true ruler supposedly of Virgo, but that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is that just because you're ruled by the same sign, same planet, just because you're the same element of someone, just because you're the same modality, does not mean it's easily going to work, because you have to look at everything else. And so in general, I would say this is not the easiest pairing. Any pairing can work. I'm not trying to kill people's dreams if they love a Taurus, but it's not the easiest pairing, because your lifestyles and your mindsets are very different, and the way that you move through life is very different. Okay, so you would have to work through those differences. All right, Gemini and Libra. Gemini and Libra is actually, it's not anything personal to me, but I think it's one of my favorite pairings, because these two people, they really gel really well together. Because remember, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, but Gemini loves knowledge and talking about their knowledge, or learning about their knowledge if they're not a talker. And Libra loves to talk as well, but they like to relate to people. So a Libra might have a conversation with you about something. You might end up with a conversation, Libra, people talk to a Libra and you feel like, wow, I know this person, even though they only told you one thing about themselves, but you have it in common, right? So Gemini also likes to talk about what they know and learn, and they feel very comfortable because you're both air signs. And so what I've noticed a lot with Libra and Gemini, these people can have a lot of common interests, and they can kind of combine their love of communicating together, and it makes them be really communicative with each other, you know. And as a pair it can work. You know, and also like the mutableness of it. So like I said, Taurus might not like that Libra. They might view Libra, you act different around different people. Gemini might not view it as you acting different. Gemini might understand a little bit more because they're mutable sign. They're mutable air. They're going to understand why you act different in certain settings. They're going to get it because they might do the same thing. Okay? And so Gemini, though, can sometimes have a hard time expressing how they feel. And Libra is very flirtatious in some instances. So Libra might, even if a Libra's not serious, they might still have that ability to let you know they like them. Whereas Gemini can be more, I don't know where this is going. Like, I don't know what I want. Whereas Libra might be like, all right, we don't have to be serious, but, you know, I really want this partnership. Like, are we at least going to try? So I think that's only one of the smaller things that can sometimes happen. Libra sometimes feels a little bit more pure than the Gemini in romantic relationships. Okay. But you both can lose interest easily if you're not really mentally stimulated with that person, because Gemini be like, oh, I met this person, they're interesting, let me find out more about them. And Libra, you like beauty, you're ruled by Venus. So Libra can be like, oh, this person looks attractive, let me find out more about them. So both of you have have to make sure that if you're in a relationship that you're not those type of people, because those things can really, you know, mess up whatever foundation you're trying to build. But in general, Libra and Gemini is a good pairing together, from what I've seen, from what I've read and all that. All right, next, Cancer. All right, Libra and Cancer. So Cancer is, you know, a sign is water. It's a water sign ruled by the moon. And, you know, so people might view it and like, oh, the moon feels and Venus is love. It's going to be perfect. It really, no, it's not. Libra, Cancer sometimes needs a little bit more Libra than you're willing to give them. Libra, you're going to be really good in the beginning of making them feel that they're wanted, making them feel that they're needed. Sorry guys about the glare from the sun, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a lovely sunny day. So, you know, Libra, you will be good at first letting the Cancer person know that you're interested in them. Cancer will respond to that. Cancer needs a very, very deep emotional, attachment. And Libra, sometimes it's too much for you because you like attachments that they just are there. But it's almost like Cancer wants you to validate them all the time and how they feel, and you can come across as detached to the Cancer. Remember, different signs look at other signs differently. So I'm going to say different things for different signs, right? Libra, you can come off, the Cancer will view you as detached, and you might view them as too emotional. Remember, you're an air sign. Yes, you're ruled by Venus, but you're also someone who can be detached from love if you need to be. You can be detached. And Cancer just wants maybe a deeper connection than you're sometimes willing to give them. And even when you are serious, it's almost like they don't believe you. And so sometimes it can cause an issue with like Libra and Cancer energy because, you know, you want to be free, but Cancer is based on the home. And I'm not saying they have to be a person that always stays at home, but Cancer is based on security. And sometimes, Libra, you don't feel that you can give Cancer what they really want. They want this security. They want to feel that you really love them and that you can be there for them. And sometimes you just want to have fun and just go on a date or just be. And they want more of a commitment, or they want more from you emotionally than you're sometimes able to give. So I feel like sometimes, Libra, your energy, you could feel very drained in this type of relationship. You feel like you don't have the freedom that you want with this. So again, I'm not saying that never date a Cancer person, but I'm saying as far as energetic, in an energetic way, it's not a easy pairing at all. And, you know, and sometimes it just feels like, you know, you're working on different wavelengths. You know, they're working off their emotions and their intuition, and you're working off your mind. You know, you're air sign. You know, you're focused on the intellectual. What y'all can do though is like, you'll feel like you relate to each other. But they might sometimes view it as superficial. Cancer can view you as superficial because they want to feel that they relate to you. They want to feel. And they're going to remember stuff about you. Libra, you're going to remember stuff about them too. But at the same time, like, you might look at it as like, I'm treating you like everybody else. Cancer wants a little bit more emotionally. So I don't think it's always the easiest pairing. Leo. Okay, so Leo and Libra. Libra and Leo. Well, I did a Leo video. You both like attention. Now it's different. Leo is the sun, ruled by the sun. They love attention, right? They want to feel important. Libra, you like to feel valued. You like to feel liked. And that's why friendship is often so important for Libra people in general. Friendship, even if they're not in a relationship, friendship, right? So Libra and Leo, you have a fixed fire, which is Leo, and you are cardinal air. And so what sometimes can happen though is there's almost like this battle of who has control in a way, because you'll give in to a certain extent, Libra, but again, you're cardinal. You're not going to give in too much before you can get really tired of Leo, because Leo can be very generous to you. Leo can give love a lot, and Libra, you'll like that at some points, but at the same time, Leo demands a lot, and you're not really a sign that's going to stay in the shadows. And even though you're going to try probably to be very like balanced and you want harmony, you don't really like to be the bad guy, but sometimes you're afraid to say what you need to say. But when it comes to Leo, I feel like sometimes that energy can have a lot of friction. That Libra can usually, in some cases, know when to be passive, know when to be aggressive. But when it comes to Leo, there can be sometimes these triggers of where they're always, not that you're always aggressive, but you're always on edge, because it's almost like Leo wants to compete with you, or you feel that Leo wants to compete with you. And so I think Libra and Leo energy, and then you like to relate. And Leo is extroverted. Leo is extroverted. Leo is creative. Leo is outward. Leo is outward. Let's have a party. Let's have fun. Let's do that. And as friends, Leo and Libra can work really well as friends. But I think when you get to the relationship part of it, you're going to, just like I said, you're not emotional enough sometimes for Cancer. You might not feel that Leo is revealing enough, interpersonal enough with you on another level, on a beyond surface level for you. And so that can cause you to look elsewhere. So even though Leo might be doing all these nice things for you, Libra, sometimes the energy just doesn't match all the time. That's what I will say, okay? But it's interesting with astrology, because the same thing I said that you might do to another sign, I'm telling you Leo might do to you, right? All right, let's move on. Libra and Virgo. Okay, so Libra and Virgo. So Virgo is mutable earth. So though people might think that Virgos are stuck in their way, Virgos really aren't stuck in our ways. And I don't know why people think that, because we're critical, or we can notice the mistakes in things because we are detail oriented. But there's nothing wrong with that, because how many things have been fixed? Let me not go, this is not a rant about Virgos. I'm not going to rant. But I'm saying that what my point is that Virgo, yes, it can be critical or look at try to perfect things, but Virgo is a mutable sign. Yes, mutable earth is not as easy as like mutable water. Don't get me wrong. But mutable earth, if something makes sense to the Virgo, they'll change their mind. And that's what people have to understand. It's got to make sense to the Virgo. They'll change their mind if they think they're going to gain from something, or something can, become better, right? So what I do want to say right now is that intellectually there can be some compatibility between, because remember, air signs are very much about communication, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication, ideas, and thoughts. And so Libras and Virgos can typically have really good conversations together, because Virgo won't always open up to people, but Libra, you have a way of making the Virgo open up to you. You might have a way of, the Virgo's going to just talk to you in a way they don't talk to other people, because you actually want to know, you want to get to know them. And Libra, you have such a great way of getting to know people, no matter what type of person they are. You can get to the extrovert, you can get to the introvert, right? And so also you two have this idea of like things being right. So Virgo wants to look at something and say, this could be fixed, this could be better, this could be better. And Libra, you kind of do the same thing. A lot of Libras care a lot about their appearance. Venus, come on now, of course, right? Care about their appearance. And so Virgo and Libra both care about what they both look like. This can be a couple that looks really well together, or they put themselves together well. Where you can find issues though is that Virgo, like Cancer, like security, and Virgo can sometimes not want to be out and socialize, and Virgo has a very specific group of people they sometimes hang out with, like Taurus, who I said you really weren't that compatible with. And so Libra, you sometimes can have very different social settings, like you have different pockets of people that you're friends with, or you go to different places. And Virgo is the type of person that likes routine. A lot of Virgos, earth signs in general, but Virgos like routine. They like to know what to expect. Mutable earth, but at the same time, like Virgo runs on predictability. And so Libra, you're not into that. Libra, you're like, this is life, I'm an air sign, I'm gonna go with the flow. And Libra, and a lot of air signs are smart enough to go with the flow. They don't really need structure. I mean, not say that everybody needs structure, everybody, but sometimes they don't value structure because they can just get it done. Whereas earth is like, no, we need structure, we need the foundation. And y'all can, even your lifestyles can be very different, because you value, out being extroverted, or you value being, you know, with others. And Virgo might just want to spend time with you. They might want you all to themselves. And I think if I would say to rate this, I would say it's medium. I think it can work because intellectually you two might have a lot in common. The way that you view yourselves, the way that you present yourselves can be very much in common. But when it comes to actually like socialization, or when it comes to what you like to do, when it comes to things like that, there can be issues. And also Virgo, earth signs can look at you. Earth looks at air like, okay, you're going everywhere. Like, where are you going? You could also be flirtatious, Libra. And I've said that before. Libras either are flirtatious or they have a way about them that makes other people want to flirt with them. Okay? And so Virgo doesn't like that. Virgo is going, that could make a Virgo insecure. That can make a Virgo feel like, you know, get mad, get angry, get resentful of you. So I think Libra sometimes, like, Virgo might view you're not serious enough for them. Okay? And, you know, so it could work. It's medium. I wouldn't say it's like the highest compatibility or the lowest per se. All right, Libra and Libra. Okay. Libra and Libra, what, you know, I think one thing I say, and other people could disagree with me, is one, you would have to look at when you were born. So I would not say just because I'm a Libra and he's a Libra or she's a Libra that your relationship is going to be perfect, because if you're a September Libra and they're an October Libra and your sun is in the 12th house and their sun is in the 5th house, you're going to be different people. You have some things in common, but you're going to be a little bit different. And so with Libra and Libra, I would look at that first. But I also think that Libra, sometimes you need somebody who can kind of a little bit more intensity. Libra, you can get so distracted by other people. You're air. So even though you're ruled by Venus and you can, you know, value partnership and know how to get into a partnership, keeping it is a different thing. And so sometimes when I see two signs together, I think that when it comes to work or friendship, that probably works very well. When it comes to a relationship, and you know, if you want to grow in a relationship, sometimes I feel like there needs to be another influence there. And so for Libra and Libra, I would just say, like, I think what, you know, they'll value each other's freedom, they'll value each other's space. But if one Libra is a negative Libra, if one Libra is more narcissistic, Libras can be narcissistic, bad-sided Libra, yeah, or self-centered or vain, the other Libra might not appreciate that. But because Libra wants balance, you might stay with this Libra person because energetically you have some things in common and you think you're supposed to be with this person. A lot of people fool themselves because they have something in common with someone. They're like, well, we're supposed to be together. But is it materializing into a positive situation is what I would ask. And so I'm not going to go too much into Libra and Libra unless you want me to. Leave a comment. But Libra and Libra, I would say, like, be more aware of, like, the balance. Who's the balance there? Because it can become a situation where it's not serious. It can become a situation where y'all are both like entertaining other people. Sometimes, Libra, I think you need a stronger influence in order for you to actually like stay in a relationship, you know, because you can sometimes have a wandering eye, or if you're not like that, at the same time, you can get bored very easily. You need to be stimulated, and especially I say mentally, just like a Gemini, Libra needs that, you know, and they need to feel like they connect, because once you start feeling like you don't connect anymore with someone, Libra, you're done. All right, Libra and Scorpio. Libra and Scorpio. Okay, so, you know, Scorpio is fixed water. And so Scorpio feels more intuitively. They feel very deeply. They feel very intensely about things. And Libra, you know, you can wear your heart on your sleeves, but at the same time, like, you don't let emotions get too deep, because you're more about the lighthearted side of it and the romance and all of that. And so when you have a Libra and a Scorpio person, I think sometimes Scorpio can become, you know, if you're talking about should you stay, you know, should you pursue a Libra, I mean a Scorpio or anything like that, you know, if you're thinking about long term, I think you should ask yourself, like, what does the relationship look like, right? Because Scorpio can sometimes can hide a lot. And I don't mean like always bad things, but like it's hard for them to bring things out. And so Libra, sometimes you can bring things out of a Scorpio, but at the same time, Scorpio can sometimes become a little possessive, or Scorpio wants a more intense connection. They need an intense connection. Scorpio doesn't like basic connections. And so I feel like sometimes Libra, like, you can find that, like, I feel like Libra, you and water signs, I don't know if water signs and Libras really are the easiest pairing, because they kind of sometimes require something way more than you're willing to give. And, you know, that's why you work really well with other air signs, or you work really well sometimes with some fire signs, right? And so Libra and Scorpio, you'll have a situation where Scorpio sometimes can want a lot from you, but you're also afraid. It's almost like not that you're afraid, but sometimes like you won't tell the Scorpio what's up, like what you really want. And Scorpio can be really upset about that. Scorpio doesn't like people that can't commit. And they can view Libra, even if you're doing the best job, Scorpio always wants more. You feel like Scorpios always want more from you. You know, Libra energy is like, well, geez, I just gave you this and I told you this and I told you that. Like, what more do you need? And that's because your intensity doesn't match their intensity. Doesn't mean you have to be like a Scorpio. It just means in an energetic way, it doesn't always work between you two, because they view it as they need more than what you're willing to give. All right. And it can work in some ways if you're willing to work it out. Just any relationship can work. But in general, what I say is the easiest pairing, no. I think that Scorpio sometimes is attracted to like the fact that like Libra wants a partnership, and they can sometimes view it as like, oh, this is going to be great. But Libra, I think sometimes you're attracted at first to what you see. Libra can be attracted also to like mystery. You know, because Libra's interpersonal. You're interpersonal, and you also, you know, you're curious about people, right? Not just information, people. And you can be very attracted to each other. But then once it gets to that point where it's too intense, Libra, you sometimes can back away from them because you might view like them as too possessive, and you might not like that. So I think in general, not the easiest pairing either. All right, Libra and Sagittarius. So Libra and Sagittarius. Surprisingly, I think it's a good match. Sagittarius is mutable fire. Sagittarius is very much also like, it's the most intellectual sign of the fire signs. It's about philosophy, learning, teaching, things of that nature. And Libra, you're going to be drawn to that, because even though Libra, you can have friendships with almost anybody, at the end of the day, you're an air sign, and you do appreciate intellectualism in someone. That is something that you value and you like in a partner. And I think that Sagittarius is also going to give you the freedom that you want. So meaning they're not going to be up underneath you all the time. Sagittarius is not going to need as much from you as a Scorpio or a Cancer might need from you, Libra. And also, like, Sagittarius can be very unpredictable, and that can sometimes pique your interest. Libra does not necessarily need things to be predictable. Libra needs things to be fair and balanced, and they need things to be interesting, and they need people to be interesting, and they need people to not try to tell them what to do. What makes you very uncomfortable is, Libra, it's almost like you are uncomfortable with emotions. That's why I think people should stop acting like, just Venus of love does not mean person is comfortable with their feelings. I hope we understand that, because I think sometimes people don't understand that. Like, Venus is about love and partnership and coming together and how you act in a relationship. But that doesn't mean you're comfortable with your feelings. And Libra, I don't think you're not always comfortable with your feelings. And Sagittarius isn't either. But at the same time, they're a fire sign. There's an intensity there, and they're very optimistic. And so you sometimes don't feel smothered. You won't feel as smothered with the Sagittarius. You'll feel like, wow, this person gets me. They understand me. This person, you know, is you know. Now, what can happen, though, Libra, is don't make the Sagittarius mad. Sagittarius being mad at you is going to be a problem. You don't like conflict. That's the problem. They're not afraid of it. They're not. I mean, just like Aries is not afraid to tell you something that you might not like in a way you don't like. Sagittarius isn't afraid of conflict. I don't mean that they're going to cause it all the time, but they're not afraid of conflict. Okay, so that's something you have to just keep to watch out for. They're not. And you like to be the nice guy, nice girl. You don't like conflict. And so sometimes that can cause you to, you know, have a lot of pent up issues because you're not expressing yourself. You know, you don't want to be the bad guy, so you're not expressing yourself. So that could be the issue between you and Sagittarius. Sagittarius gets out everything they feel. They're telling you everything they don't like about you. And you're just sitting there with all this pent up, you know, things you want to say, but you're afraid to rock the boat. So I would just say in those relationships, in that type of relationship, don't be afraid to say what needs to be said. Sagittarius, they won't always they don't get over stuff very easily. If it's big, they're not going to get over it. All right. But in general, I think Libra and Sagittarius is not a bad match. It's a decent compatibility, in my opinion. All right, next. Capricorn, Libra and Capricorn. Just like it was a no for Capricorn's opposite sign, Cancer, Libra and Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn is very serious, and sometimes it's hard for you to get into that person, and you might not always want to. It's too hard. You're like, okay, how do I relate to this Capricorn person? How do I relate to them? You know, and Capricorn is all about gain and what they're gonna get, and like your motive is completely different, Libra. Your motive is different. You're lighthearted, and you want for everybody to have fun. You want to be a peacemaker, you know. And Capricorn can make decisions. I think financially you guys can work together. Financially, if you're in a relationship and it's based on finances, I think Libra and Capricorn can work well. If we're talking about emotions, it's a little bit of a difference, because Capricorn, so whereas to some signs, Libra, you come across as detached. You give them all this love and affection in the beginning, and then they start to feel like they don't get it anymore. They feel like it's not intense enough for them. You feel the same way with Capricorn energy, because Capricorn energy is not going to validate you the way that you want to be validated. They're not. And you know, Capricorn has very specific goals, and also like the way that Capricorn kind of, your sense of humor might not always be the same, because Capricorn can be kind of like, you know, you prefer like lighthearted, or you are someone who likes, you know, to get along with people, and you like all that, you know, formalities and niceness and socialization and things like that. Capricorn really isn't really, they're not aware of, or don't, I would say care about feelings as much. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying they're cold. I'm not saying that at all. I know some really warm-hearted Capricorns, but at the end of the day, they're about, what am I going to get done? And Libra, sometimes you don't know what you want from somebody, and a Capricorn needs to know, okay, is this going somewhere? Is this a relationship? Are we getting a house? Are we buying a house together? Are we having kids together? Where are you working? Should you get a better job? Like, you know, Capricorn wants to know that stuff. And they might not come across at first and tell you that, but you're going to eventually see Capricorn has a plan and structure to everything. And they want to know what they're going to gain out this relationship. And Libra, if you're playing kind of the flighty, I don't know, you know, you just want to have fun, that's not going to work very well in the beginning. So I think, like, again, like I said, financially, I think y'all can work well. But at the same time, I feel like, well, it can work well, Libra, if you're not overspending money, because sometimes you could, Venus is a very interesting planet, because it can make you, Jupiter can cause people to have risks too with money, or positive risk or negative risk, but you know, Venus also can be kind of lax and lazy with stuff and not really structured. So they can help you understand how to save your money. They can help you understand. You can help them not be so uptight and actually enjoy life and things like that. But I think in general, as a partnership, you'd have some things to work through. It's not the easiest energy to match up over time. Now we're gonna move on to Aquarius. I'm gonna order right. All right, Aquarius. So Aquarius and Libra, it's another air sign, and so you do definitely have a tolerance for each other. Aquarius is very logical, and Libra, you like people that you feel you can get a read on. You like that. And you can't always get a read on an Aquarius. One day they're smiling at you happy, the next day they're not even saying hi to you, and you're like, what the heck? What? I thought we were cool. Aquarius is all about their communication, and it's all about what makes sense to them, and logic, okay? And sometimes Aquarius isn't interpersonal like you are, and so they might not even view it as they're being rude, but they're like, hey, we had a conversation yesterday. Yes, cool, clearly we're cool. I had a conversation with you. Aquarius is gonna think that. They're not gonna think like the next day they should say hi to you and make you feel good about yourself. Aquarius is too big thinking about the bigger collective, humanity, and like how to solve the problems of the world, or how to change things up, and how to make things better and revolutionary. That's what they're thinking about. And you're thinking like, okay, I thought we were friends, or I thought we were starting something, and you ain't even saying hi to me today. What's going on? And you just have to understand your energies are just different. Now, you're going to tolerate them a little bit more because they're an air sign. But at the same time, I think what you could definitely do if you're in a relationship with an Aquarius person is like, you kind of have to bring some things out of them. They're not naturally very warm necessarily. Like, what I mean by that is like their ruling planets are not really emotional. The ruling planets are not really personal planets. See what I'm saying? So whereas a Cancer is ruled by the moon, you're gonna get somebody that's warm and nurturing or wants to connect to people. Aquarius wants to connect to the greater collective. They want the bigger picture. Aquarius is about the bigger picture. So Libra, sometimes you have to kind of draw that out of them. Sorry, I'm just checking like my phone. Not my phone, my watch. just gave me an alert. All right, sometimes you have to kind of draw that out of them. And when you do, you typically will understand this person is capable of feelings. They are capable of caring about you, but at the same time, you might have to be the driver of that. So whereas in other relationships, someone else is the driver of the emotions and the feelings. So like I said with Scorpio, it can work. It's just you have to match their intensity or they're going to start to feel like you don't care. Okay? All right. Lastly, Pisces and Libra. I said water signs and Libra don't tend to work too easily. I think of all the water signs, Pisces and Libra is the best match. Here's why. This is mutable water. Pisces is very compassionate and Pisces is very creative. And Pisces can be, if they're not creative people, these are still people that have a sensitive side to them. And Libra, you're not really harsh. You know, like I would say, like if a Capricorn and Pisces together could be issues because the Capricorn is going to be really harsh. And Pisces energy can be very sensitive. You know, they're sensitive to how they're treated. They're sensitive to how others are treated. They even care about that. And so Libra, though, you have a good way of making them feel secure. You have a good way. Pisces has enough emotions for everybody. Pisces is not necessarily... Sometimes they can be too idealistic about love and things like that. But for the most part, Pisces energy is not going to be, you know, needing this overindulgence of love. They kind of get it. They kind of, the attention they get, they're okay with getting attention, you know, that's not over the top or, you know. Libra, I think you'll like that. You would like that. Pisces is like kind of behind the scenes. Pisces is not, you know, egotistical. They'll let you kind of have the center stage. They do feel very deeply, but they also don't demand a lot. Whereas Scorpio might demand a lot of you, Libra. They're like, okay, you're with me now. What's going to happen now? Like, are we together? Capricorn too. Capricorn will more demand it from you because they want to know the goal. They're earthy. They want to know the goal. Okay, if we're going to be together, we're going to live here. Or, hey, if we're going to be together, we need to put our money together and get a joint savings account so we can spend this money or we can save this money. Like, they want to do that. And, so when I'm talking about Pisces is more so, they're not as demanding. Pisces, though, does need you, they do need to feel appreciated. That's one thing I'll say. And they're sensitive, so don't hurt their feelings. And any sign can become angry when their feelings are hurt. Scorpio, for sure. Pisces, Cancer too. Pisces, and the thing you have to know is Pisces, you'll never see it coming. So Libra, I would say if you were the Pisces person, I would say, like, don't take advantage of them because, you know, a lot of times people who don't show the most anger have the most in them. So you can't just abuse or take advantage of them if they're not coming across as too demanding. You know, they might not be demanding about the relationship. They might just kind of let you kind of control or guide the relationship, but also at the same time, you have to feed them emotionally. But I think Libra energy and Pisces energy, you're more willing to give into that type of energy because it's not, you don't like being told, like Libra likes to be the nice guy, nice girl, but they really, really don't. It's almost like inside of them they just don't want to, but they feel they have to because it's like this presence, like I have to be nice to everybody, but inside you really want to lead. You're a cardinal sign, and so Pisces will let you kind of lead the situation if they trust you to do the situation. But at the same time, I wouldn't take advantage of that because other signs are not going to be as gracious to you, and you should take advantage of the fact, not take advantage of the fact, but you should like the fact that Pisces energy is going to naturally it can come across as more passive, but at the same time it's more accepting. So Pisces is more accepting of you and who you are, more so than another sign may be. Okay, as long as you feed their affection, you have to feed their affection. You have to care about their feelings, because if you don't care about their feelings, then you're going to get a really upset Pisces person. Pisces is internal. So while Cancer will do something to show you they're mad, that's cardinal water. Fixed water, Scorpio's going to plot, figure it out, you know, do something, or ignore you. You don't exist anymore. Pisces is mutable. Mutable energy can go anywhere. And I think people don't understand how dangerous Pisces energy can be. I'm not saying all of them, because there's a niceness and there's a compassionate part to them, but anything can be tapped on and become negative. So that's all I will say about that. All right, so that's it for this video. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you.